Today I'm going to show you how to place images in a yearbook layout. The first thing that we do before we begin with anything is open the file. The files are located on the P drive in the Yearbook 2014 folder. And this particular file is titled Practice Layout. So before I do anything else, I'm going to go to File, Save As, and click right here after the T on Layout and put my name. And leave the .psd at the end. And then I'm just going to click Save. That way, when I go back to check your work, you'll get credit for it. So let's take a look at Photoshop before we begin. Look on the left side, you can see that there's a toolbox. And when I click on a different tool, the options bar changes according to whichever tool I have selected. So for now, we're going to be using the Move tool, which is the top tool, and we want to make sure that this checkbox, Auto Select Layer, and Show Transform Controls, both of those have little check marks in them. So here on the layout, what that does is whatever box we click on, it automatically selects that layer and puts these little handles around the outside. Look over here on the left. These are called panels, and the one that's open right now is called layers. Watch what happens when I click on a white box. It takes you to that layer in the panel. So if I click on picture 3, so right Pics, picture 3, then picture 3 is highlighted over here. This helps you keep track of what layer you're on, and that becomes extremely important when you have lots of images that you're working with. So over here in the Layers panel, you'll notice that there are folders. If I open this folder, here's Social Studies 3, that's the page number. Here's page 2, Social Studies, and this one, Social Studies, is the title up here on the top left. So eventually you're going to change those to be the correct information. So if we look in the second folder down, it says Left Pictures. If I turn the eyeball off on this, you'll notice that all the pictures on the left side of the page disappear. Right here it says Right Pictures. If I turn off the eyeball on this, you'll notice that all the pictures on the right side of the page disappear. And then down here, not in any folders, is the captions. So over there on the left, under the title, and finally, the background image. So those are all the different components of this particular layout. Let's go ahead and put an image in. Let's start with this big image on the left. So I'm going to click it, and you'll notice that the left Pics, picture number 1, highlights over here in the Layers panel. I'm going to go to File, Open, and your pictures are located on the P drive, but I do not have that on this particular computer, so I'm going to get them from my camera card. So there's my link photos, and these link photos are on the P drive, and I thought that this one would be a really nice image for the dominant photo. So I'm going to click Open, and you'll notice that my layout disappeared. It's actually still there. This picture just went over the top of it. So if you see these tabs here at the top, I can click this tab, there's my layout again. I can click this tab, there's my picture again. The nice thing is that I can actually click this tab and drag it off to the side and still work with it. So I have my box, my empty box selected where I want this picture to go. So I'm going to click on the picture, click it with the Move tool, and drag it. Can you see that plus sign with the arrow? That lets me know that I'm adding this photo to this other file. So let go, and I'm just going to stick this back up here at the top to get it out of the way, and then go back to my image. You can see that it's really large, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink that. The way that you do that is to grab the corner handle only. Don't grab the middle handles. Grab the corner handle, hold down Shift and Alt keys on the keyboard and drag it towards the center. I'm going to let go of Shift and Alt and move this up and see if it's about the right size. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to click the check mark to make the changes. Move it kind of in position. I'm not going to be able to get every single person in this picture in the box because of the size of the box. So some people on this side are probably going to get cut off. Let's see what that looks like. To get the image to go inside the box, you hold down Control and Alt on the keyboard and then hit the letter G. So I'm going to use the Move tool and scoot this around a little bit, and I think I'm going to shrink it slightly. So holding down Shift and Alt and using only the corner, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. That looks pretty good. Click my check mark and make any little adjustments that I want to. And that looks pretty good right there. I like it because I can see what the sign says. Most of the people are looking at the camera. Everyone looks like they're having fun and it's energetic. What you want to avoid when you're putting pictures in, I'm going to purposely move this up so that you can see this white line down at the bottom. We don't want that to happen because that means the picture isn't filling the box completely and it just looks sloppy and unfinished. So I'm going to click this and move it back down. Sometimes you have to use the magnifying glass right here towards the bottom of the toolbox. I'm going to draw a magnifying box around this so that we can look at the edges and just double check and make sure that none of that white is showing. Okay, looks pretty good. So I'm going to go back and click Fit to Screen so I can see everything again. All right, so let's do one more. I'm going to grab the Move tool again, right up here at the top. Let's just go ahead and click this box right here. So you'll see over here in the Layers panel, that's picture number 2. I'm going to open another image. How about this one? One with a link leader wearing his costume for the parade. So I'm going to take this tab and tear it off to the side. And I already have this box selected. I'm going to take this picture, drag it over. You can see the plus sign, so it's going to add it to the layout. I'm just going to close this box. I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt, use only the corner handle, drag this about as small as I think it needs to be. That looks pretty good. We'll see if that's going to work or not. I'm going to go ahead and click this checkbox and then Control Alt G to pop that in the box. Looks nice. I actually think I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt and make it a little larger because we don't really need to see his elbow and we don't need to see their legs, and that way their faces can be a little bit bigger. And I think that looks pretty good right there. So I'm going to click this check mark, and that's all I have time for now. So I'm just going to go to File, Save. But for this assignment, I want you to go ahead and fill in all of the boxes. And remember, this is just for practice, so it doesn't really matter if you mix your images. You can use some from Link and some from clubs or some from sports, whatever images you can find. Okay, that's it for now.